Well, 14, 13. They put me back a grade.
Yeah.
Those are key ages, pues. That's what happens. Those are key ages.
Yeah. So, like, when I say, like, I feel like I grew up in Nicaragua, is because I feel like that part of my life it determined a lot of me.
And it's what builds your backbone, pues. Porque yo también, ahorita a los 15 me vino, and I feel really Peruvian.
Yeah, well, because
even though I've been living here for a while, you know?
It doesn't. I feel hell of American when I go to Colombia.
Yeah.
Like, I feel more. I
probably feel really American too, but I might like my identity.
No, it's very like culture. Like, I've never had that tangible type of thing, but like in another country, I do. Like, everything. The way they talk,
your lifestyle.
Everything is just different. You like that, and you realize how much stuff is really American. Like, simple shit. Like, I was at a restaurant and I was like, I went like this because the guy was walking by and I was like, oh, I just went like this, and I was like, we get the check. And that's offensive. You don't raise your arm when you don't raise your arms like up. Like, Harley used to get like not irritated, but he took him a while to realize that when like I'd be talking to my dad and my hand, like if I kind of raise my voice but then my hands went up, like to them that's threatening. That's like you will start a fight. And like,
no, like you've been disrespectful to your parents.
Yeah, that's very disrespectful. Or you know to the waiter and stuff. But then like here, like there, you know, if you're talking to somebody there, they kind of like they make like that remark. I don't know. It's really it could mean a lot. That little mark, the sound carries a lot. And he did it all the time.
In a normal conversation.
Yeah, in a normal conversation. And he did it all the time. And I was like, can you not do that? Because when you do it in this context, you make me feel like you think I'm dumb. Like, just the way, you know? Like,
okay.
You don't realize how much... Have you been back to Peru since you came here?
No. And I will probably feel, in a lot of ways, I will feel like that.
An outsider.
Yes.
I feel like an outsider in Nicaragua.
También. But you see, I think there's a difference there, you know, because one has to do with you being in a country that you haven't been there for a while, but in terms of how you think of yourself, you know, and the way you're kind of te abres, te expresas, te desenvuelves.
Yeah, because you feel Peruvian is what you're saying, right? Like, even though you've been here for a long time. Yeah. Where are you from?
Latinos who have that fuck American attitude, you know, and say, oh, fuck American. But they are very American. Yeah. You know, and they don't realize that. If you put them back in whatever the fuck they're from, they're gonna be like, whoa, I am an American. You know?
Well, I'm actually like that. And
what do you mean?
The reason why is because I've seen a lot of injustice, like, you know, in person with my family, with my friends, or certain situations that I have seen.
You should record the speaker, not the listener.
Yeah, but I don't think you don't want to be recorded, no? You don't mind?
And I don't mind.
Okay.
But, and that's why, you know, I have that anger towards the American flag or...
The symbol. It takes on.
Right.
Oh, you should read this book. My favorite book, Language and Thought and Action. Fuck. They talk about stuff like that. Like, how we associate... with because we as humans we tend to latch on to symbols. So because what you suffered, then you associate the American flag with that, and like you were saying that it's become politicized. Like they talk about people who are scared of dogs because they were bit once, you know, and then they attach so much meaning to dog, you know, that if you just say the word dog, they're like, you know, even though. And
I am one of those people. Like I like dogs, but I'm very
cautious.
I'm a little bit afraid, to be honest with you, every time I encounter a dog, which is weird because I'm not afraid of walking down the street at any time of the night, almost in any neighborhood. You know what I mean? But I see a fucking dog walking by and I'm like, is your dog fine? Does your dog bite or not? You know?
Yeah.
It's weird. But that's because I was bitten by a dog when I was
You were bitten?
And the whole experience was fucked up in the ass.
You bit in the ass, you said?
No. I was bitten in the ass by the dog.
Yeah,
no, it was fact. I was running with a dog.
And that's why you're scared of dogs.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm scared of dogs, yeah.
You know what makes me more mad about, I guess, I think it's a really good reason, actually, because I know what the U.S. has done to other countries. You know, so knowing that makes me more mad. So that makes me not want to have it in my pictures or in my videos or, you know, not represent it at all. So.
I'm scared.
Yeah. And I'm not the only one, because I have another friend who was also born in Mexico and is very aware and has a lot of knowledge and, you know, injustices in other countries, and he's the same way. It doesn't mean that, you know, he's gonna not like white people. It doesn't mean that, because I'm you know, I have white friends and all that. Right, but I just don't agree with, like, you know, the system. That's
you're so
that's
Latinized.
What man is a system, and I feel like the flag represents a system. So
yeah, you know what? But actually, to be honest with you, in the same way that I've been able to analyze those things, I came to the realization that to me the flag is not really doesn't mean much.
No.
A national anthem doesn't mean much. Even Peruvian, and it was so weird because even Peruvian. I'm gonna tell you why right now. Even en la procesión del Señor de los Milagros, ¿verdad? Yo fui con Pepe y todos ellos. Y todos estaban, somos libres. For some reason I felt like, no, I don't want to sing the national anthem. But then I felt like, whoa, what's wrong with me? You know what I mean? Like, well, am I not Peruvian? And maybe I was conditioned to, but I feel like those things, those symbols, are really representative of the government. These are things that have been created by the government, by the people in power. These have not been things created by the people.
Peruvian.
Exactly. It's not Peruvian people. Does not represent the Peruvian people. You know, things that are really Peruvian are things that you identify with and that you are proud of your culture. I didn't have any say in the flag, you know, and the things that, since it was created by the government, it represents the government to some extent. So that's why I understand where she's coming from at the same time. Like, the American flag represents the American government, and it represents the actions of American government overseas. It is representative whether you like it or not, you know. And so, but there's also people who recognize it as a symbol of the nation. So, you know, I guess it could be used other way, but the way that I've come to, I guess, digest that idea is the fact that I don't, like a flag doesn't mean much to me. What it means is the history of civil rights that we have in the United States. Those are things that I identify with. A lot of the American leaders, American figures, American exceptionalism. That's something that I really like about United States. You know what I'm talking about?
I've heard of the baby.
Well, behind the flag, though, it's all the history, so...
What do you mean behind the flag?
Yeah, well, I mean, I kind of disagree, because I feel like behind the flag, it's all the history, all that, so...
No, but the flag itself was created by the government, you see, because it's representative of a nation. You associate it, but that doesn't mean that association is necessarily... it's made because it actually has some links that, you know, ¿me entiendes? Direct links, other than our assumption or our tendency towards associating it with something. I don't know if you guys understand. But exceptionalism is basically, United States is a very special region, and special not in the sense that we're good, but I mean like it's a unique in terms of location, in terms of the cultural makeup of the people, in terms of our position in the world, you know, and the different aspects of it, like culture, pop culture, and all of that, and civil rights movement. So good things versus bad things that have created an environment for special beings. As much as, you know, people want to say things that in general, you know, that there are ugly things about that I myself recognize about the history of the United States. Everybody, I think, recognizes that, has some education. There's also wonderful beings that have come out of the United States. There's wonderful world figures, you know, that have been...
This is exactly what I've been thinking this whole time. It's like religion. It's the same.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like he put comidas in his brain.
What?
He went like this.
Oh.
I'm sorry, I know I'm not editing. But I just thought that was funny.
I like that that's such a large thought too.
It was funny.
I don't even know.
You were like, people that have an education, like entre comillas, tu educación. Sorry.
No,
your head was between the comillas. So
that's very
it was funny.